Hello everyone and welcome back to another reading vlog. So today we have some of the books that I mentioned in my last reading vlog because I want to finish these out before October ends. So I'm really trying to meet my goal this year of 100 books and we're doing terribly. So I started off decently and then I have a few months where I just have not read. So also this lip color is showing up a little more. Trying again. I don't remember where I was. What was I saying? I was talking about my goals for the year. Oh, and I mentioned how my lipstick looks a little more gray on camera. But yeah, my goal is 100 books and we need to get there. Normally, I feel like I read a lot more books than I have this year. But this year I really challenged myself to, I don't know, I think I just put a lot of pressure on myself by saying, this is how much I'm gonna read. And now I'm doing a terrible job and barely reading. I also typically read on my phone, and so I think that's part of it too. I'm not really a big physical book reader because my phone I can take with me anywhere and read anywhere. I guess I could do that with a book too, but it's just so much easier when you have it on your phone. So yeah. So here are the books that I am going to be reading. This one I know I'm not going to finish. This one's going to take me a while. For some reason, the Christian faith books, I'm going to just angle y'all down a little. Too much. For some reason, these Christian faith books take me a longer time to read. This is, I forgot what it's called, Made According to Pattern by C.W. Slemming, about the tabernacle. So it's basically a detailed study of the wilderness tabernacle that has become a classic on the top. Slemming focuses on the symbolism behind the tabernacle's construction, its individual parts, its furniture, and utensils. From these, he draws spiritual lessons which help to reveal why the scriptures include over 50 chapters on this dwelling conceived and designed by God himself. And then I also have the other book, which is Thou Shalt Serve. It's a study on the feast and the offerings in Leviticus. So this one is for my Hebrew study. I have a whole video on the resources I'm using for my Hebrew study, so not mine, it's for a group. I'll leave that video linked down below. The other book that I'm reading is The Guardian by Dee Henderson, and this is the same author that I read in my last vlog. I really like her. She is a Christian author, so the romance in this is very different than you see in other books. I need to sneeze. I actually haven't seen any author that writes like her. Her characters, she really builds her characters. You truly get to know them, how they think, what they're gonna do for the most part. And the romance is not like a typical romance. It's not like they fall in love and they're going on all these dates and it's love at first sight for the most part, but it's a very slow buildup of God guiding them to each other. So that is what her writing is like. This book is part of her O'Malley series, which this is book 2. I've read the prequel and I read book 1 from her. So this series is about a group of orphans that have banded together and they have decided they're a family. They've all taken on the same last name. This is the oldest brother, Marcus. He is a U.S. Marshal and he is going to be put to protect an eyewitness to a Supreme Court justice murder. She saw the killer and he's going to protect her and he's going to fall in love. That is what this book is about, and that's probably the book that I will start with. The other book I want to read in October is The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling, and this is about a girl who breaks up with her boyfriend and decides to put a hex on him and things go wrong. Whatever, I really don't know too much about this book. I just remember it from last year. A lot of people mentioned it because it was like the book of the month, I believe. And I thought about even joining book of the month, but I don't need any more physical books. I go to a store and I buy a whole bunch of books for no reason. And I'm sorry I keep playing with my hair. I don't know. Sorry. So I'm going to bring you guys with me along for this weekend and just read. Hopefully I can get at least these 2 books read and have things happen. I need to get books read, so that is the plan for this weekend. guys, it's the next day. I have done some reading and I'm about a quarter way through this book. This book's pretty short. It's under 300 pages. Things have happened. Like it says on the back, the Supreme Court Justice, the nominee for the Supreme Court, he has died. The judge has died. And now we're getting into the throw of things. So we're trying to find who was the shooter. Like, we actually know who the shooter is. We don't know much about him, but we know who he is. They are searching for him. The girl is the eyewitness, so they're kind of like dealing with the aftermath of the initial shoot. So that's kind of where we're at with the book. I'm trying to do a better job at explaining the books as I read them without giving too much detail. So right now, it's truly just dealing with the aftermath, going to the hospitals and just looking for the killer. There's a manhunt for this killer. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to bring my book with me as I go out, see if I get some reading done, if I have some downtime, and hopefully finish this book today. So I will check in with you guys in a little bit. Hello everyone, it is a brand new day, a brand new week, but I'm going to continue this vlog because I wanted to just make this a Dee Henderson vlog. I wanted to talk to you guys about some things. I finished the book. I don't know if I even told you guys. I finished the book, The Guardian, and excellent book. I love Dee Henderson. She is quickly becoming one of my favorites. I already knew I liked her, but the love is strong. Not the love in the book, the love of my heart to Dee Henderson. I will say I was surprised by the emotion I felt in the book, in certain scenes, and it just reminded me of things like when my mom was sick, and just really showed me, God used it to show me just some things that she was personally dealing with that I dealt with or thought I dealt with. So I thought that was really good, but the book ended on a good note. Ignore the fact that I look so exhausted, and this weekend we had my church's Harvest Fest, and we had a huge pile of leaves, and of course I was jumping in there, and I must have had some sort of reaction. Everyone who was in the leaves had some sort of reaction, and I look so much better than I did yesterday. So yeah. Then the other book that I had started reading was The Ex-Hex, and I honestly got a few chapters in, maybe I got a good ways in. Honestly, I think a few years ago would have been a book I loved, but I just DNF'd it just because there's just a lot of conviction in my life right now, and something I'm trying to figure out is how to balance, well, not how to balance, just where is the line in life when it comes to Halloween and God. Obviously, I don't really celebrate Halloween at all. I don't trick-or-treat, I don't dress up. I'm not about that. I don't do tarot cards, all that. I'm a big no. So I'm just trying to figure out my convictions towards that. And reading the book was just it was not it right now as I'm dealing with where do I draw the line for things. That is something that I was just I'm not reading it. So it's on my bookshelf, put away. We're good. But I did place a order for the next book, and this one is called Truth Seeker. So I picked up the third book in the O'Malley series because I figured we can continue this reading vlog and we can just read another Dee Henderson book and read that. So this one is for one of the next sisters. So in the books you are meeting the siblings, and something I really liked about this book, it changed perspectives a lot of the times, but you got to know the other siblings even more. In the first book, you got to know them, but not enough, where you're oh, okay. Book the first one, The Negotiator, Kate. Her, Marcus, and Kate are the closest sibling. They are the closest to each other, so that made sense. And then in his book, a lot of his siblings were just involved in the case. So we got to get to know them more and got to know his partner, and that is what is going on in this book. So this book's about Lisa. She is a forensic pathologist. And so it's about her and his, Marcus's partner, Quinn. So let me just read the back. Something I like is the way that she is introducing God into the series. God was a big part in the prequel book, but I read that years ago, so I don't remember much. But I remember in A Negotiator, I felt like God was there, but it wasn't like huge. Where I feel like with this book, it popped up a lot more, and I just really enjoyed it. I actually have 2 little marks here. Why? Oh, because I like Psalm 68, and then something she said here was like, Jesus can find you in the darkness. So I really like that. So I like how God is becoming more and more, and as you're reading the series, you're getting the gospel and just different aspects of God in a different way than other books where they try to like just put everything like, you know, like let's witness to this reader, and they shove it all in one book. I like that it's little pieces, and it gets you to think, like, and she gives scripture. So it's like, if you aren't saved or you don't, so if you don't believe, you can be like, okay, let me look up this chapter that they mentioned and stuff like that. So I did like that. But I just wanted to come on here real quickly, let you know how I was feeling about that other book, let you know I finished The Guardian and it was great, and that I picked up the next one, which is Truth Seeker. So I'm really enjoying this, and I know she has I want to say she has another series. I know she has like standalones that all kind of go together. Dee Henderson. So yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know that, and I will keep you guys updated as I finish reading. Hello everyone. It is a couple days later. I really took my time reading this book because I've just really been loving it, and I really, really, really do enjoy Dee Henderson. What was I going to say? If you haven't read Dee Henderson, definitely check her out. Am I sitting on the dog's tail? I am. She's an amazing author. I really love this O'Malley series. It's a faster pace than her other books that I've read from her, but this series, it centers around the family and them coming to faith. They all have a different past, whether it has to do with faith or not. But I just really enjoy it, and I love the way she builds her characters because you really get to know them. And this is how I like a series to go, especially if each book is going to be about different characters. It's not just like, oh, and now this next book is about these people that we never heard about and we don't know anything about them. Each book builds on the family and who they are. So as you read the next book, you want to know more about them because you already learned of them, of their character and who they are, and you just want to know more. Sorry, puppy. So I really, really am loving this series. I loved the book. It was so good. And yeah, so did I order the rest of them? I did. They should be here this weekend, and I'll probably just start a new vlog tomorrow when the books start coming in, and just do more Dee Henderson. It's what I really like. She writes suspense books. It's kind of like watching an episode of like NCIS, those type of things. I really enjoy it. So yeah, so I don't know how much footage I got for this vlog. Hopefully it's enough. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I've really been enjoying reading these books, and it's funny because it's not like my typical, like what I typically like to read. I typically love rom-com, so this has been a nice change, and I've been loving it. And I've been trying to read slower because I don't want the books to end. But now that I have the rest of them, I'll probably just fly by. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys that update, and yeah. So I'll see you guys in my next video. I have things planned for this month, so it's gonna be fun. Hopefully. So I'll see you guys in my next video.